Hey everyone, it's Susan Pierce Thompson and welcome to the weekly vlog. Okay, I am not in my basement, you can tell. I'm actually in a very large, very cold warehouse right now with a video crew of, 10 people, lighting, cameras, makeup person. I'm wearing way more makeup than I ever wear. They tell me it looks okay from far away, but I feel like I've got fake eyelashes and a bunch of cake on my face, and it's not how I usually roll. So I want to talk to you today about fear of success. All these people are watching me right now. It's like, this is for the front page of USA Today online, all over the country, blah, blah, blah. Some people would consider being where I am right now, standing right here doing what I'm doing, sort of the pinnacle of success. Whatever. But I do know that when I first started my recovery journey, fear of success was one of the dominating emotions. And this morning on the accountability call with my Bright Lifers, so Bright Lifers are the folks who've graduated from the Bright Line Eating Bootcamp and have decided, they've chosen to stay on as Bright Lifers. And we hop on the phone every morning at 7 a.m., like a whole group, anyone who wants to really in the Bright Lifers community. And we sort of check in, and then I do a coaching session with somebody. And this morning, the topic that was brought up was fear of success. And she said, I think you should do a vlog on this. And I said, I think you're right. I should do a vlog on it. And so here I am just a few hours later shooting this vlog. And so here's the thing. If you're going to lose all your excess weight and keep it off with Bright Line Eating, it means by definition that you're going to be successful at something that you've watched yourself struggle with for your whole life up till then. And maybe you didn't struggle for your whole life, maybe only for a portion of your life, but you've watched yourself fail over and over and over again. And then you start doing Bright Line Eating and you're gonna watch yourself be successful. And that's a hard thing to do, actually, to allow yourself to experience success in a domain in which you're used to watching yourself fail. It creates some cognitive dissonance, essentially, to allow ourselves to rewrite our self-narrative and allow ourselves to be a success when we've come to believe, through watching our own behavior, we've come to believe that we're a failure in a certain way. How do you make that shift? How do you go from believing yourself to be a failure or incapable in a certain area to believing yourself not just worthy of success, but like actually a living, breathing example of success? How do you make that transition? How do you rewrite your self-concept? I relate to this because when I was 20, I've told you this, right? Sorry for anyone I'm gonna shock, but I was a high school dropout, I was a crack addict, and I was a prostitute, right? That was my resume at the age of 20. And I got clean and sober, and I enrolled in community college, and I did well there. I transferred to UC Berkeley. I got 4.0s. I ended up getting into every graduate school that I applied to. Somewhere in those 2 or 3 years, I went from believing myself to be a failure in all the ways that society counts as being relevant, to allowing myself to be successful. How did I do that? Because when I came in to recovery, I was terrified of success. I had this feeling of potential inside me. I'd always had it. I always knew that I had some stuff on the ball. I always knew that I had some capacity. I always knew that I had a head on my shoulders. But I was used to wasting it. I was used to not fulfilling it. How did I go from that to letting myself be successful? The answer's pretty simple. One day at a time. One day at a time, I showed up for stuff instead of bailing, and I watched myself show up. So one day at a time, I put a brick in the wall of a new identity. One day at a time. It's very gradual. Gradual is a lot more gentle than all at once. And with support. So there's this saying, right? How do you walk through fear? Afraid, right? So I came to allow myself to be successful one day at a time with support, squawking about it all the way. like showing up for tests that I wanted to not show up for, but talking about it with people and them saying, okay, you should just show up. It's okay, even if you fail it. Showing up is better than not showing up. And I would show up, and I would get an A, and I would be scared of that. I would process that with friends, with support, one day at a time. I think when people start Bright Line Eating, they're aware of the fear of failure. Like, that's the loud voice, is what if this doesn't work? Everything I've always tried hasn't worked for me. Why is this any different? I can't bear to do this and fail again. But if you listen underneath that, there's another reality, which is the fear of success. What if this does work? Can I let go of the identity of someone who's overweight? Can I let go of being someone who struggles with this always and forever? What if I'm successful? What then? What kind of vacuum does that open up in my life? What happens to me if I don't have this to focus on anymore? And it's awesome. It's awesome to allow yourself to be successful. There's that Marianne Williamson quote, right? Who are you not to be talented and gorgeous, right? Your playing small doesn't serve the world. So here I am, with camera crews, with lighting crews, with stage makeup on my face, about to shoot some footage for the front page of USA Today, allowing myself to be successful because in being successful, I serve you. I serve you. And I just want you to think today, who would you be able to serve if you allowed yourself to be successful with your food finally? It's an awesome thing to finally be who you are meant to be in this world. So that's the weekly vlog. I'll see you next week.